Hi, in case you missed the first and second or the entire 1 to part 5 for the series of restoring legendary Yamaha R1 2002-2003, you can click the playlist, and then you can see all the link in the description to see how I restored this bike. Actually, in this video, I'll share some few issues, not issues actually. We made a trip. This is the first road trip from Dar es Salaam city to Mvomero. Mvomero is like is a small town in Morogoro city. So the distance between Dar es Salaam and Mvomero is roughly 280 kilometer or 300 kilometer. So the journey to and from to go there and back is like 600 kilometer. So this was the first initial trip after restoring the bike, the experience. So the whole video I'll just show. You can see the road. If you never traveled in Tanzania roads, you can see what you expect. You see, the road is just a single lane. Yeah, there is one going and the other one coming. So you have to be very careful when you're driving, because the road is so tight. The other thing you have to consider when you're riding the super sport bike is that you have to prepare. If you're going for a trip, you cannot just start your motorcycle and just boom, you want to go somewhere long distance, like 500, 600 kilometer. You have to prepare your bike. You have to prepare yourself in terms of money. You have to understand that how long you have to understand your bike first. For example, like fuel tank capacity. Your fuel tank capacity is very important to understand. How long does it take to drain the entire fuel tank? For example, in my bike, it's roughly 220 kilometer. Because sometimes when you're riding in high speed, it's like you're getting those numbers. It's around 220, 240. It depends. So you have to know that between those ranges, how many gas stations are there, like which interval. The idea is so that you're not stranded along the road, that your bike has no fuel. It happened to me, but that is a story for another day. So it's very, very important to refill your fuel tank often as you can. Like for example, if you go to 100 kilometer and then you find that there is a gas station somewhere, you just pull over, fill your tank. Even if there is still some gas in your tank, it is a good idea just to refill it, because especially if the road is strange, or maybe is your first time to go in that direction or in that road, because you may not know between the stations how many kilometers still between those. So it's very, very important to refill the fuel tank as often as you can, so that you are not having an issues of running out of fuel. The other thing is, the second thing you have to consider when you are going to a long distance trip, and is please make sure that your motorcycle is okay. Like check all the fluids in your motorcycle. Something like oil level should be correct. For example, in these Yamahas, there is a fuel gauge which is shown in when you check in an engine, you can see that there is the glass which shows the fuel level, the engine oil level. So that is very important to check the oil level, which if the oil level is correct. You can just overfill it a little bit higher than normal because you're going for a long distance. That is very, very important. And the third thing is, please put correct or specified engine oil. In these Yamahas, for example, the best I saw is like 10W40 is okay. You can get Castrol, is a well-known brand. Castrol is not sponsoring me for this, and I'm just mentioning based on my experience. So you can just get the 10W40. It can be Castrol, it can be Motul. Motul is the best. The other thing, please don't put those like 20W50 because they are all over. 20W50 you can get around near every part, every shop in here in Tanzania, but those 10W40 are very hard to get. They are very, very hard to get. So before you go, just make sure that you get the correct engine oil, and then you put the correct level in your engine. Overfill it a little bit because you are going for a long distance trip. That might help. If you know that your motorcycle maybe burns or consumes oil a little bit, you can just carry maybe 1 liter on your backpack or somewhere, just for emergency cases. But if your motorcycle is okay, you don't have to do that. That is the third thing. The other thing is, check your coolant level. The coolant should be okay. Check your radiator, open the radiator cap, make sure that the engine, the radiator has the correct level for coolant, and the reservoir, because there is a reservoir bottle around for the coolant also. Make sure that is in a correct level. Those are the major issue, man. If you miss that, if you ignore those things, you can have major problem along the way. So make sure that the engine oil is okay, the coolant level is okay. And the fifth thing is, this is about coolant again. Put the correct coolant. Just don't put those cheap stuff in your motorcycle. Buy the coolant which is specified by the reputable manufacturer, and then put it there. Don't buy some cheap stuff and then put in a motorcycle. It can cost you more. Cheap is expensive somehow. So make sure that you get the correct reputable brand for not the counterfeit coolant, because there are a lot of the counterfeit coolant. People just stick some labels, and then they tell you that the coolant is okay, but in major cases it might be fake coolant, just some water. Maybe they put some dyes so that it appear green or red, whatever, and then they sell it. So make sure that you get the correct coolant which is specified somewhere, or buy from someone who is reputable, so that your motorcycle runs correct. The other thing is, be yourself. Ride safe. Overtake when you see there is a belt clearance, you can see away far ahead, then you overtake. Don't just rush, man. Your life is more important than everything else. When you are riding, just make sure that you play safe. Maybe in another video we'll discuss about safety and the other issues, maybe gears, riding gears, and your self helmet and the other stuff, and how to ride, especially in Africa. When you go to highways, people behave different. You can find a semi-trailer in 120, and the guy, man, there are a lot of stuff we can talk about. But on those few tips, thank you very much, and please subscribe. So that we can make more video like this, and we can share our experiences along the way. Put some comments so that I can know what you are thinking about. And again, thank you very much.